Welcome back, guys, to another episode of All About That Mystery. And today we are joined with another episode with some technical difficulties where we're using a mic this time rather than a phone. But we got to use some knowledge to get it up to the right height.
Some book knowledge.
Look at that knowledge.
Some book knowledge with history on top.
Yeah.
So today's episode is going to be about the myth, the legend. Well, not really myth. We're kind of a myth.
The man, the myth, the legend.
He's a man, yeah.
The GOAT.
DB Cooper.
The GOAT. The GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Now,
Who's DB Cooper?
Yeah,
well, I know you know who DB Cooper is.
Yeah, I was just trying to like.
Well, the only reason you know about him is because I suggested to watch this documentary.
Oh no,
right?
I watched him before.
Oh, you've seen it before?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't hear of him when I first mentioned
No, I
him.
watched him like on YouTube.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's an interesting
Cool.
story.
Oh, well,
And do you know who DB Cooper is?
Nope.
So this will be fresh to you, and it might be fresh to any viewers that are watching now. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting story, so stay tuned, and I'll try and describe it as, well, the best I can. Okay? Right. We'll get straight into it. So, DB Cooper, also known as Dan Cooper, was a criminal who in 1971 hijacked a commercial plane traveling from Portland to Oregon to Seattle, Washington. And later parachuted out of the aircraft with some ransom money. And basically an executive manhunt was ensued. But the hijacker was never identified or caught to this day.
Okay.
So, obviously, resulting in one of the greatest unsolved mysteries there in U.S. history. And, I mean, the man used the name Dan Cooper, but that's in like news reporting and stuff like that. A reporter actually misheard the name, and that's why he's known as DB Cooper. So the only reason he's called that is because a reporter accidentally said it wrong at the time.
The bloody
Yeah.
media.
I know, terrible.
The media.
But yeah, it's really, really. I've got two different stories here, so I'm going to read them both in like my own words kind of thing, but they might overlap each other. But they're also two different perspectives of it. So I'll get into the first one. So, some context. On November the 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving, a man appeared to be in his mid-40s, around 6 foot tall, bought a $20 ticket for the Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, right?
I know that guy.
And I know him. Wait,
I know him too.
Joel's about to unsolve this unsolvable mystery.
Oh.
And he gave his name as Dan Cooper,
Yeah.
which later turned out to be fake. So that wasn't actually his name. But they don't know what his name was. Anyway, shortly after takeoff from Portland, he handed a note to a flight attendant in which he claimed to have a bomb in his briefcase. He then proceeded to open the briefcase, which contained numerous wires and red sticks and a battery, informing basically there was a bomb in the briefcase. And then Cooper demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000 in $20 bill notes.
Jeez.
Which, obviously, back then, today, that was about $200,000 back then. Today is probably about $1.2 million.
Oh my.
Inflation, man. It gets to you.
Wow.
Yeah. So, obviously, that's a lot of money that he was demanding. And all in $20 notes as well. This is weird.
He was really
Wait,
he
who's
was
on
really
the $20
precise
note?
then with his money.
What
I
president?
don't know.
It must have been Benjamin.
No, that's
Probably
on the 5.
Lincoln. Probably Lincoln.
Oh wait.
They like to put Abraham Lincoln on their notes, don't they?
Yeah.
That's probably him.
Or
It's
Benjamin.
Oh, that's a $5 bill.
Oh, it's $5.
$5 or $10.
But anyways, yeah. So it was really interesting. Obviously, they don't know who he is exactly, but from what they could tell and they only got like drawings of what he looks like and stuff. But
So this
They-
man,
he-
Little do
so,
they know that
well,
we were there.
yeah,
so this
we
man
were there at the flight of 305.
So this man
it's
has never been identified. Like nobody has ever like.
no, they've only got like in like police reports and stuff like that. They get witnesses to describe and they get a professional artist to draw and trace out.
Oh, so
It was just it's basically like a man with he's kind of got a buzz cut. He's got glasses. And he just looks like
He has a nose.
He's just a guy. Like you
lucky
wouldn't be able
man.
to differentiate him then.
Wow.
Now he's older than his picture.
Well, if he's alive.
Yeah, if he's alive.
But yeah, but from what they could tell, he's had no previous crimes report. But he was also obviously harder back then to kind of track what everyone's doing,
yeah.
you know. But there was nothing on him. He was a ghost.
Well, back then
Didn't-
there was no air support security.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's another. Obviously, 1971. It was a lot looser in terms
Yeah.
of security.
Oh yeah. Nah.
Sorry, it's
Security.
Just a bit looser.
Jesus, Joe, grow up. You're 3 years older than us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after the flight landed in Seattle,
Yeah.
Cooper then let the 36 passengers go
Okay.
when the authorities provided the money and the parachutes.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
However,
That's nice of him.
it's a
that,
good
was,
deed.
that was nice of him. Got away with
Which
money.
intends that he's not really like a. I mean, obviously he had a bomb. He was threatening to kill them all, but
Yeah.
the fact that he just let them all go,
Yeah.
like there was no murders or anything like this. No
Oh, so
deaths.
no one
not
got
at all,
killed?
No
Wow.
fatalities or anything. But he did force, after he let the 36 passengers go, he
Yeah.
forced the 2 pilots, a flight engineer and a flight attendant to remain on the plane.
Okay.
So 4 people remained. And after it got it refueled as well. Everyone waited around. He was like, I want it refueled. So they refueled the plane for him.
Oh man.
And he ordered the pilots to fly
Yeah.
to Mexico City per his instructions. And the plane flew under 10,000 feet at a speed lower than 200 knots, which is for a commercial plane very slow and very low. And around 8 p.m., while between Seattle and Reno, Nevada, widely believed that to be near Ariel, Washington area,
Yeah.
Cooper lowered the rear steps for quite a while, and it's believed between that distance
Yeah.
he had jumped. But obviously the steps were lowered for ages, so
Mm.
you don't know when specifically he jumped or where he parachuted to, if he survived the jump.
Wow.
So yeah, the FBI launched what would become one of the longest and most exhaustive investigations in its known history,
Wow.
known as NORJAC, Northwest Hijacking. That's what they ended up calling it. And initially, the agency had believed that Cooper knew both planes and the area, so it was speculated that he served in the military, possibly.
There were a lot of suspects to this.
Oh yeah,
And one of them was
Yeah.
a ex-military.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. If there were a lot of suspects, surely someone could have like.
Well, he's never been identified. Never,
Oh.
ever.
That's
he
actually
had- he
so
had
mad.
glasses on.
That was
And-
it.
And the buzz cut.
But yeah, they believed that he might have possibly, because he obviously, it was believed that he knew the flight path and he knew the area, and obviously he asked for parachutes. So it's believed that maybe he was a military paratrooper. But later on, it was basically decided that he was not an experienced skydiver because the jump was way too dangerous, and he failed to notice that the reserve parachute was sewn shut and used for training only. Well, that's what they're saying. The people obviously gave him the parachutes.
Wow.
But the agency reported
Yeah.
that it looked at some 800 suspects
Yeah.
in the first 5 years, with almost all being eliminated immediately. And some were ruled out on the basis of just DNA that was eventually recovered from like the tie Cooper took off before jumping, left it on the plane. One prime suspect was Richard Floyd McCoy, who was arrested for a similar crime several months later. However, he was eliminated as a suspect, partly because he didn't match the description provided by the 2 flight attendants.
Okay.
Was it 2 flight attendants? Oh, 2 flight attendants. There was 5 people on the plane, unless they're including the engineer there. And while serving his sentence, because obviously McCoy, the person that was maybe at the time believed to be D.E. Cooper, so he went to jail anyway because he already did a bad thing. McCoy made a fake gun and actually escaped from prison, but was killed in a shootout with law enforcement.
Oh, God.
So he's gone now anyway. So if
Yeah.
it was him, if it wasn't him, doesn't matter. Anything to do with him's gone. He's dead.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was a bad person.
Oh.
Many speculated that Cooper, who was actually, and this is where we get down into the description of him.
Yeah.
He was outfitted in a business suit, trench
Okay.
coat, and loafers. But many speculated that he didn't survive because at the altitude, the winds were more than 200 miles per hour, and the parachute he used could not be steered because it's just a training parachute.
Yeah, but I feel like because he said there were 4 on board, they didn't want to take that risk of providing 4 parachutes that weren't sewn shut.
Yeah,
Mm.
You know what I mean?
True. But it's just, like, I just find it very interesting.
It
the
is
story.
really because.
But in addition, he would have landed in a rugged, heavily wooded area, roughly. Either that, or there's 2 stories to this:
Yeah.
either a rugged, wooded area, or in the sea. They're the 2.
Is that the flight path of the plane?
Yeah. So it would have been either in the ocean
Mm.
or really like basically where. Well, actually, I'll get onto this later on because they think they found the parachute. maybe. But then they also here's the problem.
Yeah.
They think they found the parachute
Yeah.
in one place in the wooded, rugged area, which would make sense because it would get caught up in the trees.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw this in the DB Cooper documentary, but they also, there's a reporting of a briefcase they found that washed up on shore where it would have made sense for the waves to wash it in if he landed in the ocean, of a briefcase of, I think it was $50,000 worth of $20 notes. So, but obviously, depending on which one it was,
Yeah.
it would mean he either did land in the ocean and someone got the parachute in that area,
Yeah.
or he landed in that area and randomly just threw away $50,000 of it and to throw the authorities. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Ooh.
After years of dead ends and just leads being destroyed, and investigators received a break in 1980 where a boy found a decaying, this is what I was saying about, a decaying package containing the dollars. And it was buried along the Columbia River north of Portland and some 20 miles from Errol. The serial numbers of the money, all of which were, as I said, $20 bills, matched those of the ransom. However, following an extensive search, nothing further was discovered in that area. Also, although the FBI continued to receive tips, in 2016 the agency officially closed its investigation, stating that its resources could be best used in other cases. But to be fair, 2016, I mean,
that's a long time.
Yeah.
from going 1971 to 2016, that's nearly a 30,
That's
it's more than 40, nearly a 40-year case.
40, 50 years.
Yeah, 40 to 50 year case.
It's mad how like that type of case, like.
Well, before I go on, what do you
went
think?
long.
What do you think so far? Obviously, you've never heard of it, so
Yeah, like it's. I think the thing that kind of baffles me is just how, of course, like there were like 36 passengers,
yeah,
and
on the commercial airline.
I don't know how they would have been able to like identify him to like.
Well, obviously, like, I mean, if you think of a hijack, obviously none of us have been in a hijacking before.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, it's going to be a traumatic event. You're gonna
True,
if they got no mask on and stuff, you're going to remember that person that's holding you hostage.
That is true.
Like, surely that's something, or it would be so traumatic that you would forget.
Yeah,
It's one of the two.
because how many people did the police interview? Like, did they interview all?
800.
Well,
No, sorry, that's the people they suspected to be DV. I don't know how many people they interviewed.
yeah,
I assume within 40 years there would have been a lot of people.
yeah, that's what I'm
Probably too much to keep track of.
Didn't they
Yeah.
say they took a detour and let the passengers off, and the passengers didn't realise there was a hijacking until they got off the plane. So they weren't they didn't realise they were in a hijacking situation until they got off the plane.
Is that? Oh no, that's true actually.
Like they weren't told about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they wouldn't have been distraught or anything like that until they got off.
No,
Because there was news reporters and stuff.
No, because because he kept him on the plane until he got the ransom. Yeah.
Oh, so they knew about.
They didn't know until they landed.
Oh, so
Right,
they
when
didn't
they-
know.
Yeah, they were, when they landed, that's when they figured out the flight attendants. He was like, I've got a bomb.
Okay.
I'm not letting these 36 passengers go
Yeah.
until and that's how he let them go after he got the ransom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it probably still would have been very scary for him,
Oh
whether they
no.
were in the air or not.
Oh no, 100%. Especially like in that situation, of course. Like that's. Oof.
He's very lucky if he did survive because it was at night.
Yeah.
It was at what was it, 8 p.m. in November?
8 p.m. Yeah.
In November, which is
Oh, and also of course it's
Dark,
dark. It's dark
dark,
outside
and
as
it's
well.
cold in
Yeah.
November.
That's another thing if you think about it. Like, if he did land in the sea, how cold would that have been?
yeah.
That would have. Yeah.
Like, hypothermic,
Yeah.
Titanic heat.
Erratic.
I shall go on though.
Mm.
So, the unsolved mystery fascinated, obviously, the country, the world, whoever's heard of it. Surprisingly, fewer people have heard of it than I thought, actually.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you hadn't heard
It's
of
big
it.
in
Yeah.
America. It's like big in America.
Yeah. It's
They're
a
like
big thing.
idolizing.
But I thought it was quite global, but obviously not. And DBQ, got my nickname now, became something of a folk hero kind of thing. Like
Wait, actually, really?
well, it's believed by some people that he did it in almost like a Robin Hood-esque kind of thing, like because the government were very
Yeah, to be fair,
tight back then with money.
back
so
then.
he did it to prove a point,
Yeah.
not to be a bad person. Obviously, he held hostages technically, but he didn't mean any harm by that. It's just the only way to get their attention and get the ransom.
It was a tactic, a strategy.
Yeah.
But there's loads of different inspiring, numerous songs about him, books,
Or songs.
Yeah, like,
movies.
Oh, RDB Coops, the best coops in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
Thank you.
But he's been into. Have you heard of the TV show Prison Break?
Yeah.
That is such a good TV show.
It's such, honestly, one of my favorites. But
I have not watched it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you watched all of
Wait,
it, Joe?
you
You said you
just
watched
said
it.
you watched it.
What, Prison Break?
Yeah.
Wait, when did I start watching Prison Break?
About
Just now.
10 seconds,
Oh
11
no,
seconds ago.
oh no! I said I haven't watched it.
Oh. Okay. Well, you should. That's very good.
Yeah, I need to.
Have
I
you
need to
watched
get
all of
back
it,
to
Joe?
Yeah. I didn't like the last season. The last season was like a bit flat for me.
The
Wait,
first season's probably one of the best
first
first
season.
seasons of any TV show.
The second season, still a good season.
How many
Third
seasons are there?
5.
5, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's far.
But
that's good.
do you know who I'm talking about? Who was meant to be DB Cooper in the show? Because it's not really obvious, but it's basically hinting at. You know the old man in it.
The one that
The one with the glasses.
You haven't seen it, pal.
Oh no, but like I've seen clips. I've seen clips, of course.
He's the old guy. He has like a little cat. He walks around he's one of the people that escape with him, but he eventually
I know
dies.
what you mean. I can't remember his name. The one with the grey hair.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's old. But he actually at the end he gives spoilers, but it's been out for ages. He gives Schofield, the main character, a location which they end up going to find loads of money,
Yeah.
and
Is
they're
it-
all in $20 bill notes.
Oh wait,
Is it the one with the pocket where he like holds, like says, "Hold on to my pocket"?
No, that's Teabag. That's a bad character. Yeah, that's definitely not DB Cooper. But anyway, it's led to believe he's a good character in the show Prison Break, and it's like no one knows he's DB Cooper apart from Schofield, who's meant to be very smart. Obviously, breaks out of prison, but he believes that is him, and it is eventually hinted at that was DB Cooper because they end up finding. Anyway, it's just an example. And Loki, the Marvel TV show.
Oh yeah.
It's hinted that in that universe, Loki was. In fact, it's not hinted; it's stated
Yeah.
and shown
Yeah.
that Loki is DB Cooper.
Yeah.
He did it as a because Thor pranked him. So, have you seen the Loki show?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Where he gets the shades and like jumps out.
Yeah.
into the
And then
portal.
the guy, the actor goes, "Wow."
What was his name? The WoW guy.
Wow.
The blonde guy.
He's a really good actor. He's Marley and Me. No,
You talk about what's his name?
that's what we're trying to figure out.
What's his name?
Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
Russell
that's his
Crowe.
name.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Wait, Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Russell Crowe.
that's the thing he does, and he's like, wow.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really cool, man.
That's really cool.
Wow. Anyway, stop slating our fellow actor. But
Our
yeah,
fellow actor.
but yeah. Anyway, he goes like, "Wait, you were DB Cooper, man?" And he's like, "Yeah, Thor dared me to do it." It's like
Yeah.
that's the scene. Anyway,
Wow.
now Should we get on to now? How could he have survived?
Mm.
Now,
Bulletproof skin.
despite what the FBI believes,
B of the the FBI. I thought it said B of the I.
I did say the FBI,
Oh.
but I didn't mean the FBI.
The B of the-
Cooper probably did survive the jump.
Okay.
This is what like majority of like conspiracists and all that. say.
Oh, not the actual
Not
real life people.
No. The FBI think he dies. That's what they've ruled it down to.
The smart people.
Well, what? You
Or
think-
are they?
You think the government are smart?
Yes,
This
they
could get
are.
They are
Government are smart.
very smart.
I
Very.
think that's worse.
I mean, they're not smart. I mean,
FBI open.
I mean, they're 50-50
I
sometimes.
just imagine FBI open up. It's just Pally going.
What if the FBI ever came to this house, man? You ain't gonna see me
It'll
again.
be the armed police.
Pal will just poof into
CTSFO.
What, C to what?
CTSFO.
What CT is that? Is that
Counter-terrorism special force
The only reason I know that is because Rainbow Six Siege.
operations.
oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, was that an organisation or?
Yeah, it's the
It's a
armed
cult.
police. It's the British armed police, but they're dealing counter-terrorism,
Oh,
and they're coming to get you.
Anyways,
Huh? Oh no.
anyways,
Sorry.
Yeah. So the area between Ariel and Amboy, I hope I'm saying these right. Basically, the most likely drop zone for Cooper
Yeah.
was in between that, basically, because that's obviously when the door thing. What do you call it? The doors of a plane. The stairwell door thing.
Yeah, the big the
The big.
The door.
You know what I'm talking about.
the door
door.
The window. The
The-
window that opens.
the door
Well,
the
when-
big door thing that opens. Yeah.
Obviously, the pilots, the planes.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have black
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're called that, but
I think they
they
call
track everything with obviously if a plane crashes.
that. Yeah.
But also even if a plane doesn't crash, it's still
Because
so
that's what they'll look for first. in
yeah.
a plane crash.
But you can see obviously the exact flight path and when everything happened, so they know
Yeah.
exactly on the flight where the doors opened, and. But the only thing is, I don't think he wouldn't have shot it, would he?
No,
so
no.
it could have been between. I don't know when
Unless
they
he
shot
got
it.
he jumped back up there.
He jumped out and just quickly jumped back in, then shot it, and then tried to jump out before the door shut. He's playing a little game with himself. If he can jump out before the door shuts on him.
He's not really good, but he was just like
The flight attendants is in the corner like, what is this man doing?
it's fucking crazy.
Just let's go.
It's crazy.
Or he forgot some better money. He's like, oh wait, I forgot
Some bear money.
I forgot a bit.
He did have some Winnie the Pooh money.
Yeah, some
Disney coins.
some honey.
For him in the voice.
some honey.
Some is that how his voice goes within the Pooh again?
Would you like a sweetie?
That's Chris Eubank.
That's
Yeah.
Chris Eubank.
So anyways, yeah, so obviously it's all rolling hills and forests, like I said, and the wilderness and all that, and the lack of body, the briefcase and all that, anything that he would have had on him at the time, was obviously not there. Being found is also a clue that he didn't die, because nothing was found.
Oh.
The fact that it was buried as well, the money.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right,
we'll get to that. 'Cause
Oh.
it's too blah, blah. Anyway, so a parachute. Now this is where the contradictory happens, because you
Yeah.
know what I said about the briefcase that was found by a little kid on the beach that washed up to shore. With
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and it was
business,
it
the business
matched
kid.
Yeah.
it matched the serial numbers.
Business.
I'm surprised he didn't just run off with it. He found that much money.
I would. I would have took that money.
What would you have done, Paolo? Just taken
Be
it?
like, Mum,
Oh
we're
yeah.
going jail. We're going
Mum,
prison.
we're going prison.
Oh no, opposite, Mom. We're gonna be rich.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to contradict that, a parachute was actually found within that forest that was also within the flight path, buried in Amboy, and the WA was dismissed by the FBI a week after it was found in 2008. But
Yeah.
initially, the Seattle FBI said it was the right size, the right color, and found in the right place to be the right parachute that he would have used at the fall he was given.
This was
Okay.
Yeah, buried as well. It wasn't just found; it was buried.
Oh wow. Or maybe like
Mm.
someone found him hanging off a tree, like dead.
Well, these are
buried
the. Well, I want to know what you guys think might have
Mm.
happened here. But yeah, you're right. It could have been maybe Dewey Cooper did die, but someone maybe saw it in the news and was like, or maybe someone was in the area and found all his money, so they masked his death, put him somewhere, took the money from him. So literally, there's endless possibilities.
Man.
But yeah, so they dismissed the chance of it being DB Cooper, even after saying it was the right colour and the right place and the right size and all. They dismissed it. By the way, there was no nothing else found in that area. It was just the parachute buried. But for some reason, they dismissed that after, and they never gave a reason why.
Oh,
Well, the FBI didn't.
No, the FBI did not give a reason why, even though they literally said it was found in a statistically correct place.
So they found it,
and obviously it was the right size, right colour.
So of course, so basically everything basically matched up, but
it
the
did,
FBI
and they dismissed it.
What
you thinking, Barley?
mm.
You're what? You hungry?
But it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy. That should be my intro.
It's a conspiracy.
But yeah. So, however,
the
the chute was missing from the container.
Yeah.
And a harness.
So the parachute itself was missing.
Kind of. It was like, I don't know what it's like nowadays, but
yeah,
it was, you get like a container with the. So it was implied that it was one of the parachutes, but
because there's a parachute and then there's a reserve parachute.
Yeah. So the container. I'm not sure specifically what lies within the container and stuff, but the container matched up with what it would have been, but the chute and that was missing, implying that he used the chute and stuff. Which again, why did they debunk it and saying no, it's definitely not. But as I just said, obviously it was found without a harness and a chute, which means a human had to disconnect them after the chute reached the ground and move them somewhere. Now, perhaps Cooper used the container to transfer some of the ransom money from the bank, from the bank bag, to the container, which just looked like a backpack, normal backpack. It wasn't really. And why would someone take the trouble to bury the chute anyway?
Yeah, unless
surely it would have had to have been himself, DB Cooper, to bury it, or like Joe said, someone found him before anyone else did, and realised how much money this man had,
this man's
and
got.
to lead nothing back to them. They were smart about it, and they made it look like it was something he would have done. Like it's endless.
So I've got three theories.
Okay, well,
but we'll get to that later.
Don't forget them though. Oh, I do want to hear your, because a little bit. In fact, there's one more paragraph left.
That's fine.
Yeah. Now, another good clue to the idea is that Cooper lived. Was the money? Oh wait, hold on. Is this me repeating myself?
He was the money.
He was the money.
Money.
Oh no, this is just an add-on to. So I said the kid found some money on the beach the other day.
The other day.
I don't actually know when I didn't get a date for it. I assume it must have been quite soon on. Still in 1971.
Yeah.
But especially if it washed up on shore. But there's not a single possibility that works that would provide a water delivery of that money from the place he jumped to the place the money was found. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So basically saying it doesn't make sense for the money to have been there unless he jumped in there and he lost one of the
How many briefcases were there? Just one?
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, they don't know because they're the kind of things that weren't tracked, because obviously, $200,000 in $20 banknotes, that's gonna be pretty chunky. So, and it.
I've got another theory.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's gonna be a lot to carry, and quite heavy.
So
money can be quite heavy once you get a lot of it.
I think he must. I feel like he must have had like at least.
So anyway, also the as it's referenced here, the Brain Boys at citizensleuths.com were allowed to examine the physical evidence, including the money found at the beach. And they say that no way the money was exposed to the elements for 9 years. They believe that human intervention had to be involved. So implying that... Oh, maybe the kid didn't find it then, 1971.
Well, there
was no date for it. So
there was a... In the documentary, there was a note. Like, the kid found out or got told that something or a note was brought to the attention saying, you'll find this on this date.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't know. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, anyway.
By a kid and the parent. Because he gave... Oh, the kid gave the money to his parents.
Yeah.
And the parents found it and it went on national TV.
I see.
That's how they found it.
Well, anyway, they believe that human intervention had to be involved because there's no way that briefcase, and it was in the form of a briefcase as well, which he wasn't believed to have had. And as it's saying here, actually, it's saying that it was found 9 years after 1971.
Okay.
So 1980, I'm guessing around then it was found from this kid. But obviously, where did he get a briefcase from? Because it wasn't believed it was in a briefcase or anything to do with a briefcase. Also, these smart people, whatever, did research and they said there's no way that briefcase was, even if it just happened to have been buried in the ocean or somewhere, and it just happened to have popped up, luckily at that time and place, there's no way that money wouldn't have been all like secluded to the elements of the ocean. Think of what erosion does to rocks and stuff.
Well, it was paper money as well in a briefcase that's been in water.
It's not going to be watertight.
No.
I think it will keep out water briefly, but not for 9 years.
Oh no.
And I'm not sure if they meant as well that maybe the briefcase as well was like in pretty good nick considering it's been 9 years. I think that's also what they were implying. But yeah, so that's the story of DB Cooper. Never been found to this day. There's so many possibilities. I didn't even look into all of them because there's endless possibilities. But rather than that, I want to hear what you guys think. So, considering, I want to hear because you've got a lot.
Yeah, you got
We'll let Paolo think about it, and we'll get straight on to you because I want to hear what you have to say.
So I've got one theory. First theory.
Yeah.
So he was ex-military. He planned everything out before. He obviously planned everything out before, like the parachutes and the amount of parachutes he had was 4. He only used 1.
Okay. Yeah.
But he was aiming for, like, them to think that he was taking 4 hostages. With him, so they gave him good parachutes.
Damn.
And then when he got into, so he obviously flew out the plane because he was not.
So you think that's why he asked for 4, so they'd give him good parachutes?
Yeah. Because if you
that would make sense.
If you just ask for 1, then they know that you're going to use it, so they give you a dub. If you ask for 4, they don't want any hostages or anything like that to be killed because it'll look bad on them. So you ask for 4, just in case. Well, because of
well, I mean the reserves chute was broken anyway.
Yeah.
Which is what you need. I don't know if you know, if guys know anything about. I said guys, I meant you guys. Whatever you identify as, but
I identify as a seal.
I'm happy for you, Joe.
I'm happy for you.
But whatever. Basically, you need a reserve parachute. It's not like it's called a reserve parachute, but it's not there just in case your it is there in case your main parachute breaks, but at the same time you do need it.
Oh yeah.
At the same time as when your parachute comes out.
Yeah, just in case.
You need no. It helps you.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually
you
helps.
Need the reserve parachute can land you somewhat safely if the main one breaks, but you do need both.
Okay.
Open, working.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Carry on, Joe.
Oh, sorry, apart. Yeah. Just before parachutes, he also asked for, I don't know if this is true, multiple briefcases, because then he can't. He asked for that certain amount of money because he measured the briefcases beforehand, and he measured the money in it with, don't know, $20 notes, but he's like measured it, and he got multiple suitcases and gave one to the people on the plane, so they didn't say anything, so paid them off.
Robin Hood style.
Yeah.
He
Like
had
it.
2 or 3 left. Put them in his backpack, sailed down like on GTA, from a helicopter.
Maze Bank heist.
Yeah, straight off the top of the maze bank.
Yeah.
And then he got into the woods.
Mm.
He either, in the woods, died on impact
Mm-hmm.
from the trees, tree line,
Mm.
and then someone found all the money, buried his body somewhere, but they didn't find that, and buried the parachute somewhere,
Yeah.
and then just ran off.
Yeah.
It was an inside job from the FBI, so there was like a rat in the FBI
Oh, okay.
who was like, that's why they bunged off the parachute idea, even though it was exactly the same down to a T.
Mm.
So he paid.
That would definitely be a reason why the FBI. It was always going to be when they realise it's their own fault in some sort of way. When it's corruption within their own ranks,
Yeah.
then they'd be like, "Oh, actually, no,
It's not.
it's not this."
Yeah.
In fact, I've got so many. In fact, one of the theories coming up that both of you would not have heard of because it's only just been released. It's like a 15-year-old case, but it's like heavily insinuated that's to do with corruption. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Is that another mystery?
It is. It's I'll get to it. Yeah, it's one of them ones that you just wouldn't have. I'm gonna start doing less known ones now, so they're more like because obviously at the moment I've been doing some mainstream to kick it off.
Yeah.
But there's still interest. I mean, you didn't know who DB Cooper was,
No.
so it's in. Go. Yeah, sorry, go on.
What was it? Yeah, inside corruption. So he's got either he knows someone or he's inside the FBI and he's working with someone else in the FBI, and they got the money and ran away together into the sunset.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
Happily ever after.
Or also the money that was washed up on the shore
Yeah.
was buried. So he did that as a diversion, and then
That's what I think as well.
left the kid to find it. But you wrote a note or something like that saying you will find it.
Is that definitely confirmed? So I didn't read about
I
that.
don't know if it's confirmed, but it was written before or someone said it.
Is this in
I
the
think one of the suspects,
TV show you saw about
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
That's probably a confirmed thing.
one of the
then.
suspects said it. But I don't know how he would know.
Well,
Unless he
unless they
buried
have the actual note, you can't really
Yeah.
confirm
Yeah.
it then. It's from word of mouth and maybe not. But.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think he placed it there as a diversion. That's why he's got 4 briefcases, because he knew he wasn't going to, he didn't care about the money. All that money. Anyway, he wanted some money for himself,
Yeah.
but he used some money as a tactical diversion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, today, obviously, as I said, it was worth about $1.2 million.
Yeah.
So obviously, even just 200,000 is enough to set you for like.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
100%.
So,
especially
like,
in
well, unless you buy a house these days.
But
But but my point is, back then, he splitting that money into 4.
yeah,
He definitely could have afforded to do that,
Yeah.
especially if he was doing it just to make a point anyway.
yeah, maybe
Like he probably didn't even care about the money; he just took the money because he was like, I've done all this,
Yeah.
may as well take some.
Yeah, maybe he just took his share and just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, go on.
Or he was just really stupid and he died in the sea.
I didn't learn how to swim for this.
I was like, oh.
And that was it.
But yeah,
But to be fair, if they were going to lose a body, it'd be at sea.
Yeah.
I mean, although it possibly could have washed up on shore, though. That's another thing. But then how?
Depending on how deep he's.
Yeah, it depends how far in the ocean.
How far it's
Because
gone.
if he like,
But to be fair, if he was
Yeah.
on the parachute would have kept him afloat.
not forever though.
Yeah. Well, also,
But then, to be fair, if helicopters and stuff were going over to try and find the flight path, because they redid the flight path so many times in helicopters and planes to try and figure out if he landed in the sea, no matter how much he would have tried, unless he had a boat there waiting for him, he would have seen the power. Because you're right, the parachute would have floated there for at least a day
Yeah.
or less before it would have eventually just sunk.
Yeah.
And parachutes are usually bright, right?
Yeah.
They're white.
Yeah, white, orange, whatever, any safety color.
Yeah.
So that would have been visible.
Mm.
So if he did land in the ocean, I feel like he didn't just because of that.
Unless he got dragged down by the Kraken.
Well, to be fair, it's definitely like if a shark came along, and if the obviously in the water, it could be hard to disconnect yourself and all that, and if you get tangled up in that, because that's another possibility of a parachute get tangled, you could end up drowning just from accidental.
Yeah.
But what if shark? It's not that far fetched. If you're deep in the ocean, in America as well,
Yeah.
the sharks are prominent there. Then it's if the shark goes for him, or any animal in the ocean. Obviously, it could have been dragged him down. The parachute obviously goes with him.
Yeah.
So you know what? That's the thing with this theory. There's so many possibilities.
But
you have no idea. But yeah, it is. It's mad. It's mad.
What's your theory, Paolo?
So I think. Most likely, he'd probably landed in the ocean.
Yeah.
But however, I've got in my mind, it doesn't really seem likely. But of course, possibilities are endless. The possibilities of this happening are endless. But I think he did survive the sea.
All right.
And I think he did get washed up.
Okay.
Washed up to shore.
Well, one thing to add.
Yeah.
That I said at the start of the video that wasn't correct. When I said he could be alive today, he's definitely not.
Oh no.
Because obviously they didn't know who he was and how old he was, but they knew roughly. You can tell how old someone is.
Yeah.
It's like 30, 40.
Yeah. So today he would be like it probably like ranging from 85 to 115.
Yeah.
He could be like anywhere between. So the chances are he's either one of the rare people that live to 100 these days.
Yeah.
Or he's passed.
Yeah.
Most likely passed.
Most likely passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he didn't pass during the
Wind.
heist.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, Paolo, go on.
No, I think he survived the sea, got washed up to shore, and just died of lack of starvation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
But it wasn't a deserted island. It was
actually mainland America.
Yeah. It wasn't some random island he washed up on.
Wait, it wasn't.
What are you talking about with the money he washed up on?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I can find out where. I did say, but it wasn't like.
Was it like a
It was on the banks of Columbia River. So it wasn't like.
Yeah, it wasn't far.
He wouldn't have starved. Basically,
civilization.
He might have been a bit hungry or peckish after swimming, swimming to shore. But to be fair, the tide could have current tide like riptides and that. They're often
running down to a riptide.
Because
lady running down to a riptide.
Yeah,
maybe.
He's got a theory.
Yeah, maybe.
Went to a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Maybe he survived it. Then after that, of course, like more people not knowing who he is and stuff, especially like in the Colombian shore. I think maybe he was killed
by Colombians.
Oh no! I did. Oh no! Oh no! No.
I'm just going off what I thought you were insinuating.
Oh no!
Is Columbian River in Colombia? In Colombia?
No, I don't think.
I think it's in Colorado.
Yeah, it's not.
I think because
it's not actually in Colombia.
Because I definitely think that, especially him having that type of money and stuff, and of course, like,
wait, who do you think he was killed by?
I don't know.
Maybe the person he was working with from the inside job, that they killed him.
Yeah, because
they would have access to a weapon, right? Working for the FBI.
Yeah, because maybe the FBI found his location and stuff, and we're like, we're like, okay, we found his location, we found who he is and stuff, and of course, like, if the news gets out,
it's Jeff from IT.
Dumb.
God damn it, Jeff. But yeah, so what you think?
Yeah, I think
you think he was killed.
Yeah, and I think
by someone.
Yeah, and it could.
He did all the hard work, then got backstabbed.
Yeah.
So you do think that's what happened?
Yeah,
then?
I think.
But you think he landed in the ocean, not the forest?
Yeah.
Interesting. And you think he landed in the forest, not the ocean?
I think he landed in between. One leg in one One thing or the other.
Got my right foot wet. Damn it!
So
At
basically,
least my left half of my body's dry.
basically, he done the splits.
Yeah.
Mm.
What's your theory, Jake?
Mm.
I think he landed
Vertical.
He did some somersaults in the air.
Oh, then he
Took a
landed
selfie with the phones that weren't around yet.
Tom Daly.
and landed horizontally into the water.
I actually have no idea. It could even be like I don't know. I think he lived either way.
Yeah.
I think he survived the landing. I agree with both of you in the fact that I think some sort of foul play happened when he survived.
Mm.
I think it would be likely that after the government debunking the theory of the parachute and stuff, even after confirming it, I think it's likely that they basically found a rat within their own ranks. And they
Paolo doesn't like rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
This keeps coming up in every single podcast.
That was unimplied, but we'll go with it.
I do not like rats.
No, I don't think the government do either, Paolo.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a rat costume to wear for Christmas or something.
Well, I'll be happy to wear
Do
that,
what,
but
Halloween?
if you bring an actual rat in, then you ain't going to see me for a couple of days.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah. So I think there was some corruption within the government, and whoever that corruption was, they might not have found. They might have figured it out, but they might not have found them. They might have found. I don't know. But I think they were there waiting for DB Cooper. Whatever he probably didn't randomly jump. He probably had a object, like whether it would be the ocean or the forest, one or the other. And I think there was a meeting point, and that's where he was then shot, killed, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, working for the FBI, you would know what to do to cover up a murder.
Yeah.
have you seen the new Call of Duty? Spoilers.
Come on, no.
No,
Modern Warfare 2.
no,
So that's what happens in that, and then it's like a high power.
really.
Oh.
High power
Interesting.
orders someone else to kill him off, even though they're the good guys.
Well, that's what I think. Corruption's so common.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Corruption,
Yeah.
like you can't help it.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
Yeah, it is. To be fair,
Yeah.
It
People
is.
get corrupted easier, and then they turn back.
Yeah.
it's all to do with money. Isn't it? But obviously, killing DB Cooper would basically destroy all loose ends for that one individual. So it would make sense for him to be like, okay, I'm going to split the money with you. When DB Cooper lands, he thinks a DB Cooper. Well, maybe he advertised or she advertised it.
On Facebook Marketplace.
Does anyone want to start a rebellion? But maybe they advertised it to DB Cooper and been like, hey, listen, I've seen like you. Maybe they interacted at one point and saw that DB Cooper. Obviously, that's not his actual name, but that he didn't like the government and what they stood for and all that. So he then used that to manipulate him to do this work for him. Be like, we're doing it for the to go against the government, stuff like that for the people. And then, but he or she for the government was actually doing it for money. And then backstabbed him.
Literally, it's mad how corruption
Destroyed all loose ends.
Imagine how
This is
corruption
a good
happens.
film. Thanks.
You see, money can't buy happiness. Yeah.
It was a good film.
Just that story.
Wait, what?
That plot line. It's a good plot line for a film.
Oh, I wonder. Is there a film for DB? I know there's like.
There's
Is that your
there's
film?
not films. Well, I think there is some, but there's also some films that are based on him.
Right.
So there's one with Cillian Murphy in, where he's literally hijacking a plane,
Right. Okay.
sat next
Snakes
to-
on the plane.
setting next up. Yeah.
Oh, Snakes on the Plane. I think the last time I watched that, I was like 9 years old. Watching that.
Well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. We've got to stop because this podcast is, I think, been going on for nearly more than an hour now.
It's been interesting.
Yeah,
I was thinking that. I was like, how long? This is.
But it's been a good
How long
talk.
is-
I've
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Money
It's a good
can't
story.
buy
It's
It's a very good
happiness
story.
now.
It's a
It's a very
very.
good story.
Like,
Really
so there's
good
a lot of
story.
like ends that you can delve into.
Yeah,
Get, like,
it's
down the
endless.
rabbit
It's
hole.
Little
literally
things.
endless
But
possibilities.
guys, if you have any opinions you want to whack down into the comments, some theories,
If
we'll
Sherlock
read them.
Holmes is in the comments, please, we need your help.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do comment, like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe.
Pre-
I hope you enjoy our content.
Preach
It'll
on,
be
bro.
coming out weekly. Oh yeah,
Preach
preach
on.
on. That's
Preach
our,
on
That's
now.
our new saying.
Is
Thanks
that,
to
a new
Paolo.
is that a new ending?
Huh?
New ending.
We could do it,
We could
Preach
do
on.
it.
but all in unison.
Okay.
Ready? 2, 1.
Preach on.
Thanks for watching. Bye.